Welcome back to your crypto market update video. So as usual, in this video, we'll cover Bitcoin, all the economic events, seeing how crypto is going to go for the week. And of course, we're going to get some juicy altcoins to see whether we should be going long or short. If you like the sound of that and you want to see altcoin reviews in an honest format and once a week I cover the market update, such as this video right here, then hit the subscribe button, help the channel grow during this bearish period because I promise you the worst of it is over. You heard that right. So a little bit of a sneak peek as we start to delve into the charts. Let's start off with Bitcoin because the market leads by Bitcoin. First of all, Bitcoin has actually been on an absolute tear in 2023. Now we are approaching significant areas of resistance, that being area resistance number 1, or basically being from June, July, August-ish, basically this chunk here of resistance. This is all we're starting to go up against, this little area here. So you can see resting at the moment after we've had this breakout. So really happy with Bitcoin at the moment, hauling the absolute amazing price of 23K earlier this week, which is fantastic to see. But now we rest. Now these are your breakout bars and you do not want your breakout bars to get hit. So breakout bar, this is the significant one. Bitcoin is still in a good position until this breakout bar basically gets destroyed. So that is right around the $2,100 call it. So if I put a horizontal bar right there, that one right there, that white area, that can't get basically broken for this breakout to hold. Bull flag formation holding at the moment. However, we have had, if I put this on a weekly chart, we've had too many weeks up. We've basically had 1, 2, basically from here, from basically start of 2023, 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks up. 4 weeks in a row up. We are bound to hit some resistance. And if you have a look at our volume bars right here, you can see volume is starting to die off, but it's more the spreads that's the issue. So we can see on the first week of January, we went up in the 7-day mark by 22%, right? Really good. Then we have the following week, we only went up 8% on just under average, slightly lower volume. So these are your volume bars and you can see the price going up massively. A little bit less volume, but the price only going up less than half of what it did with the same amount of volume. Not a good sign. That's exhaustion, guys. And it has a little bit of a head to cap it off too. Then the next day you get slightly less volume, but instead of it going down 8% like you did in the following week, now this time it's going down less than 4.5% or around 4.5% increase, I should say. So we're going down, we're going up, but at a decreasing rate, which is not good to see on slightly less volume, which means it's struggling to gain the momentum it needs to break through these resistance barriers. So major resistance approaching at Bitcoin, but still the breakout bars hold, that being 2,100 and the other breakout bar being at around 17K. Bitcoin still remains to be a very attractive buy for this price, and I will tell you why in a little bit. But let's just have a look at USDT dominance. So having a look at USDT dominance, you can see USDT dominance has been going down for quite some time, which means money is flowing into altcoins and into Bitcoin. However, we are now starting to see a reversal of a trend happening. So that means USDT dominance is going up. If USDT dominance is going up, they've flown out of altcoins and out of Bitcoin into stable coins because the whales want to pay for these cryptos they want to pay less prices for them effectively. So you can see major resistance coming there at that 9.5%. We did have that double top play out in November, which is when the bottom of crypto happened as of this recording. But we did have our consolidation area before ultimately breaking down. And that's what I mean. Once your breakout bars start to go down or 50%, you can expect the trend to continue. So that's what happened. Clean cut through the 50%. Now, the reason why I think USDT dominance will go up is that we're not too far away from major support, which is around this area here of around 5.6%. So that is this area here. So we're very close to it at the moment, which means that it's time to start thinking about shorting the market, although there is weakness still here because the downtrend is still there and we're below our 50% right here. So we're below it, indicating weakness for USDT dominance, thus meaning dominance for altcoins and Bitcoin. Let's have a look at Big Daddy ETH, my favorite crypto. You can see Ethereum doing very well, holding up fantastically. The low of Ethereum was in June of last year. Bitcoin put in the low November. A lot of altcoins have put in the low and a lot of shares have put in the low in like October last year. Ethereum put in its low June of last year, guys, and that is a beast of an indicator right there telling you people are not letting this crypto going down in price. It is so strong at the moment. There's your 50% at around that 14.55 mark price. I will be surprised if we hit it, to be honest, because it's looking quite strong. And you can see a sell-off attempted to happen last week. So you can see this thing has a bit of a tail on the candle, which means it tried to get sold off and support came in to support the market. Although on slightly under average volume, that still signifies strength nonetheless to Ethereum, which is what I can't say for most of all other altcoins. We'll go to that in a little bit. If we have a look at total market cap 1, you can see total market cap 1, bit of a pullback, but nonetheless 2023 has been fantastic for total 1, 2, and 3. Now let's have a look at BTC dominance. You can see BTC dominance finding perfect resistance at around that 4.5 44.46%, which coincides right there with resistance going in from June of last year. So do expect Bitcoin dominance to go down. That means altcoins will most likely keep going up, or that means Bitcoin will go down and alts will go down, and they will go into stable coins, which is what I think is going to happen in the short term. Ethereum dominance, still not much to say here. Still a very, very strong chart, and you know how much I love Ethereum, guys. That is the Ethereum dominance chart, and you can just see, like I said, put in the low, basically, when's that? In September 2019? And it's just been on an uptrend ever since. That's Ethereum dominance. Very, very strong. Ethereum against its Bitcoin value, again, put in the low in 2019. Ever since then, been doing really well against this BTC value. Let's have a look at some economic events or economic statistics so you can see how the overall American economy mainly is working, because America is still the biggest economy by far, and whatever happens to them will be an indicator for the rest of the world. There's your V-shaped recovery after COVID. Of course, it's very easy to say now, but no one really knew back then. And now the unemployment rate or the employment level is extremely high, which is economic growth for America. And that's why I was saying earlier in the video why I think the worst of it is behind us, because the employment rate is still very, very, very strong, and there's such demand for labor that once people's wages catch up and the price of goods start to come down a little bit more, then inflation will be put behind us. It still will be a high inflationary year, 2023 and some of 2024, but the worst of it is over because everyone expects it now. And that's really the key thing there, is the expectation and the psychological, emotional nature. If you know you're going to get hit hard, it's not going to hurt as much. But if you don't know it, it's going to come out as a shock and hit you harder. That's basically, unfortunately the way it goes in the financial markets too. If they know it, shares don't react too much to it. If it comes unexpectedly, shares will react quite heavily to it, either to the upside or the downside, depending on the news. 3-month treasury bills. This is something I'm introducing new to the channel. This is basically showing the 3-month treasury bill. It's kind of like a bond, but it's just in 3 months, so it's called the treasury bill. But you can see if this has an inverse relationship. So if this is up, crypto's down. If this is down, crypto's up, because people are putting their money from defensive assets into risk-on assets. And you can see doing very, very well, really popping up. But what I want to show you in this little line chart here is you're starting to see a little bit of a pullback. It's not having these sporadic big movements like they were. So you can see just in a matter of a few months, this thing went crazy, and now it's time to have a bit of momentum lost onto the upside. It is a line chart, so it's a bit harder to see, but I just want you to just pay attention to the breakout. So there's your breakout right here. So basically there's your breakout, and then there's your pullback, and there's your huge breakout, and there's your pullback, and there's your breakout, and there's your pullback. So you're already getting a pullback here with just this little bit of a breakout. So if we get another pullback and we start to find some lost momentum, that's really good. So that's basically what you're looking for, is you're looking at the momentum through a line chart and seeing those key areas. So that would be your support area right here, because that's your bend. So hopefully you can see that. So it's a new thing I'm introducing to the channel. Hopefully it makes sense. Then you have a look at government 10-year bonds as well on the downtrend. There's the downtrend continuing down, but still there will be some support like there is with crypto on the way down. So bonds will also have support. S&P, you can see there it is. There's the bounce in November, or early October, I should say. So right there, 10th of October, there it is. And now we will continue to go sideways, but we're not ready for another bull run for quite some time. So we'll keep hovering around this area, I would say, for at least all of 2023 and maybe 2024. US dollar dominance as well on the way down. There was the top in September and going down, down, down. Support coming in at around that 50%, at around that $98 mark or 98 mark. So we'll see what happens there. But yes, US dollar dominance going down, which is a good thing. And again, it's not to say that these things are going to continue going down. It's going to be a free fall. There will be, some jagged, zigzaggedy edges, some support, some breakouts, to the upside, to the downside. But the overall trend out of months will be down, which is good for altcoins. Speaking of altcoins, now we'll get to altcoins. What are we doing? Are we going long or are we going short? Now, I do expect there to be a slight pullback because we've just had too many weeks up with all of these cryptos, and we do need a down week or two to show where the supply is on the scale. Basically, you want to see, okay, all these cryptos have been pumping. What's going to happen now? Are they going to sell them, or are the whales going to hold on to them? If the whales hold on to them, you'll see a low volatility down day. If the whales want to sell it, then you'll see a high volatility down day. So big volume. At the moment, it is looking like low volume, which is good for the future, but nonetheless, supply does need to be tested. Now, I want to start off with APT because this is a crypto that's been going off lately. Again, this is on a weekly chart, so it's really good to look at weeklies because it tells you basically, it removes a lot of the guesswork involved in days because crypto is so volatile every day. When you see on a weekly, you see the overall trend for the week. And you can see basically, 101% in 2023 from the first week of 2023 with APT. Next week goes up 67%. Following week, 37%. So see how the volume's dying down, but the price is still going up. It means it's time for a sell-off. It's time to sell off and see where it bounces back. One thing I will say about APT though, if I put put it on a daily, if we actually zoom right in, you will actually see that this crypto is going to have some major struggles at around that $20 mark. So there it is right there, $20.40 right there is going to be major resistance for APT. There's your double top play out. And notice how these things have very tall heads on the candles, okay? Tall wicks or tall heads I like to call them. As you can see, there's your head, and the bottom part I like to call the tail. So you can see has a big head, meaning that price tried to go up and sell, moved it down, and what do you expect the next day? You get another selling day. However, if we look on the 4-hour chart, you will see a nice, beautiful breakout bar that is showing support for the time being. So there's the 4-hour chart. You can see there's the support coming at around that $16 mark at the moment. So there's your breakout bar. Hopefully support comes off it. If not, next breakout bar is on the 4-hour chart is around that $14 mark. So those are some key points to look at if APT bounces off it or if it gets sold off. Another crypto that I've been keeping an eye on for a long position potentially is actually Arweave. Now, I did not like the sign of Arweave a couple of weeks ago. It was looking pretty bad, but it's actually held up quite good. Now, I will say yesterday was pretty bad because it fell 7%, but it's not about it falling 7%. It's about the full body candle. So see, you got your head and then a full body candle, which basically means that's a huge sell-off. No support came in much at all for that day. And today you get a bit of a head, which means that you tried to get the price up, but it couldn't, and now we're getting slammed down. Now, we do have another 12 hours left to play for the day, so we'll see what happens to Arweave, but there's your 50% for the support at around $8.64. So we'll see what happens to Arweave. But that is an interesting long position potentially, but it needs to come down. I would love to buy some Arweave at around that 50% mark or just above it slightly, but at the moment it's just a bit too much uncertainty. I don't like it. Atom is another crypto that has been a bit boring, but is always a good stable one. It's a very good project as well that I like. I don't want to spend too much time talking about these altcoins because I want to do videos on them, but I will say there's a lot of good cryptos. Doge is looking really, really good as well for a long position. So in the very, very short term, maybe this week, maybe next week, a bit of a pullback. Not all pullbacks are bad. Some of them are very good. It's healthy to have a pullback to see where the support bounces off from, and that can lead to your first higher high. A higher high doesn't mean, oh, the price just went higher. It means that the low that got put in is higher than the low that you previously got put in, along with a higher high. So, but it's more the lows that you want to pay attention with, and vice versa for the downtrend. You want to see a weaker higher high. So the price went up and then it went up slightly lower. And that indicates that the prices are just declining. So that's my little rant and my little technical analysis spiel. I like to go on these during my videos. But what I'm trying to say in the short term is, yes, a couple days, you will see a pullback. Long term, you will see crypto go up, but nothing too crazy unless you get the APT sort of crypto, which are pretty hard to find. But like I said, long term, Ethereum, Bitcoin, perfect buys. APT is starting to make its way as a good dollar cost average in crypto, but still, I'm not ready to call it, but that's looking like it could be one ready for the next bull run. I think that could be the next Solana that could crack over $100 for the price that's at now. But it's still early to call. I don't want to excite you too much, but I'll do a video on that. The last crypto is actually QNT Quant as well. This one's actually found some good support after its massive uproar late last year. So this thing's just consolidating at the moment, ready for the next leg up. So I'm going to do videos on all of these cryptos, so make sure you subscribe. Give me your feedback in the comment section below. I know it is bearish periods, but give me feedback if this is helping you or not. And remember guys out there, don't worry about what any news agency is saying. Don't worry about what any major outlet or YouTuber is saying. Crypto is still very much healthy. It still very much is alive, but you need to buy the good ones. You need to buy the really, really good ones that you're feeling comfortable going to the next bull run with. And that's going to be Ethereum and Bitcoin. And like I said, some other alts, but we don't know yet until that next bull run starts to come, which I think will probably be mid 2024. But that's going to do it for the spiel. Hope it helped. Look forward to some altcoin reviews. Until then, everyone, take care, and I will catch you on the next video.